Hi, it's Alex from Frog Studio here, where we provide free hacks, hints, tips and tricks to ease your hobby woes. If you're new here, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button, and if you want to check out any of the other content we do, links to which are just down below. So, in today's video, we're going to be looking at the brand new McFarlane Sisters of Battle. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on this, and then we're going to have a look at how to go about breaking down this model so that you can paint it in the chapter that you want. I'm going to be focusing on the breakdown and my honest opinion on the quality of this model. But first things first though, this lady needs a bath. So a sink and hot water should do the job, just to soften the parts of the plastic enough to separate her out into the component parts. You want to be doing this for about 5 minutes, soak her in the hot water, and she'll come apart easy enough. Now there's no tricky parts on this, it's just a case of kind of taking your time, and if you struggle on a joint, just re-soaking it for another 5 minutes and you'll be fine there. Now that she's dry, let's take a look at the detail on this model. And straight away, you can see the level of detail on her is so much more intricate than the Space Marines. Both of them separate down into roughly equal parts, but whereas the Space Marines have large flat panels and big chunky parts, every inch of this sister is covered in detail. From the top of her head to the jointed feet, every inch is crammed full of little elements that you can customize and set your Adepta Sororitas apart from the rest. This part is fascinating though. They actually took the design decision to mold the stomach onto the loincloth and make it out of really flexible material. It's so much more flexible than the normal Space Marines, and it kind of makes sense as most of the armor that they have is form-fitted material or cloth, so no matter the pose that you're going to be putting this lady in, she's going to be looking her best. But on that point though, I think you're going to need to be really careful throughout the whole painting process of this model. Every part of this model bends, and I mean it bends. Look. Normally, this wouldn't be a problem, but a word of caution from experience. Make sure you're using hot water to disassemble and a hairdryer to reassemble this model. Otherwise, you're going to be having joints that bend as well. Or even worse, you're going to be having joints that break. The key here then is to go ahead and heat the sockets as opposed to the plug. That way the plug stays nice and rigid. Reassembly is exactly the same process, just in reverse, but the key part here to watch are those dainty hips and her chest as well. Make sure that you're using heat on these parts, if nowhere else. My last word of caution is going to be on painting these figures as well. The plastic is going to be so much more flexible than the acrylic paint that's going to be adhering to it and that we're using to paint it. I'm really going to be expecting to see this paint chip over time as the model is reposed and reused. Now, I haven't painted one of these yet. You're going to be able to see that in next week's video. Overall though, I am really impressed with this McFarlane. After the letdown of the Blood Angels Captain, the Gold Edition McFarlane. If you haven't seen that video, the link's just up above. After the letdown of that one to this one here, every part of this model is just absolutely cram-packed, and I cannot wait to start painting this, particularly with the release of the new Sisters of Battle Codex that's going to be out. I cannot wait to get this model up and painted. I'm not sure about what chapter to do, so if you have an idea, let me know in the comments down below. So that about does it here for this week. If you're wondering why we've had a little bit of sparsity at the studio, it's because I'm actually moving. So we're moving tomorrow, hence the skeleton rig that we've had up here. But we are going to continue producing the videos. You're going to see this McFarlane hopefully painted next week, provided I can get everything in. In the meantime though, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to Frog Studio. And if you've enjoyed this, let me know in the comments sections. It helps me to know what you guys are interested in seeing. Finally, if you've been enjoying the videos and would like to help support the channel, I'd just like to take the time to mention that the channel does have a Patreon page, and a massive thanks goes to all of my Patreons. I literally could not do these videos without the amazing support of the Frog Studio family. Once again, I'd just like to thank my Patreons and to you guys as well for watching. I've been Alex from Frog Studio. Stay safe, keep hobbying, and may your brushes always be pointed.